No dark sarcasm in the classroom. Boom, 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 boom. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 578 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. We welcome y'all back. We welcome Yins all back to the Two Dumb Yinzers Friday version. There I go with the y'all again. Mike, I've never been a y'all guy. My whole entire life, I've never said y'all until about the last month or so.
You're just yinzered out apparently.
What
I
is
will
going
still
on?
I will still say y'all. I like to change it up between y'all and yins.
I've never
Or
I've
you
never said y'all.
guys
It was
or
always, if I said y'all, it would be on purpose. It would be, I
yeah.
would have to think before I actually did. Just so weird. It's just so weird.
Yeah, you're a strange guy.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Y'all.
yeah.
Y'all.
Y'all, like you're from down south now. Y'all.
Yeah. Big week, big weekend here in
Oh
Pittsburgh.
yeah.
If you want to get downtown, there's Pickle Fest is going on. Um, you know what? Pickle Fest is such an odd fest because pickles are such a, you either love it or you hate it kind of food.
Yeah.
You think it would be something more, I don't know, down the middle of the line so everybody can enjoy it? I mean, these pickle fests sound fun with the, besides the fact that they're pickles.
Yeah, I'm not a pickle person. I don't like pickles.
I don't like pickles either. I don't eat
I
them on anything. Anything. The cold pickles, the hot pickles, the whole pickles, the sliced pickles, the dill pickles. It don't matter the pickle. I don't like a pickle.
I don't. I like dill flavoring. Like if making like a potato salad or something, put some dill flavoring in there, give it a little kick. I like that, but like the pickle itself, I don't.
Pickle.
I don't like what they do to the poor cucumber. I like cucumbers; they're perfect the way they are. You don't have to mess them up by a pickle. And then you got people who are like, "Oh, they'll order a sandwich and get a big old pickle on the side, and they sit there gnawing the
Mike,
pickle."
I seen a pizza the other day. It was a pickle pizza where every square inch of the surface of the pizza was covered in pickles. You got to see this. It's unbelievable
No, I do not need to see
what
that.
people are doing with their pickles.
I, but
I
no,
don't like, I don't
I
like
do
the
not.
flavor that it adds. I don't like
No,
the
I
texture. I
don't.
don't like this.
It's I don't
Pickles
know.
are
It's not
garbage.
that good. I don't get it.
And people, it's almost like, if you say you don't like pickles, people treat you like you said you don't like Mr. Rogers. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah, and then that's two different things. If you don't like Mr. Rogers, there's something fundamentally
all
wrong
right, you're
with
a
you.
psychopath.
Exactly. If you don't like pickles, you're just a normal person.
Yeah. Every once in a while, it's usually girls. A lot of times I notice females, they just love pickles. Oh, gotta get me, I'm gonna gotta get a hot dog with extra pickles on it. A
I
hot
just
dog with pickles to begin with is garbage. You're gonna get extra pickles.
yeah, I don't know. Pickles or stay away.
But it is Pickle Fest, so get downtown, go to Pickle Fest. I'm sure you could find a nice jar of pickle juice to drink down or whatever the hell it is.
Ugh,
Wow, garbage. It's garbage.
it is.
I
It
don't like
is.
what it does to a sandwich. It just, it adds a whole element that I don't like.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't. And like the way that people talk about
Like they're the
pickles
greatest
too.
thing ever.
Yeah, I like they worship pickles.
You know what's weird? You know what's weird about Pittsburgh too? I like it. Don't get me wrong, but I think such a bizarre idea was the Permanis sandwich with the coleslaw on it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't you don't
You-
you don't love coleslaw. You don't grow up loving coleslaw. It's something that I think that you have to acquire. It's nothing
It's an
that any child goes, "Oh, please let me have coleslaw." They
no,
don't. They just don't.
no. It's an acquired taste. Coleslaw is, and I may see. I like coleslaw. I like the coleslaw on the sandwich. I thought that was a brilliant idea, but mm,
I
yeah,
just
like
think with all the
give me
nationalities and all the
mm,
people that were here, Mike, that came for the
yeah.
steel mills, this is the best we came up with was pickles and coleslaw.
That's just how we do it here.
I just think of all the foods in the world that you love, and they're
It's
they're all the furthest things away from pickles and coleslaw. They really are.
they are 100%. And you pickle eaters, I don't know. I don't know what's up. Like you pickle eaters. That sounds like an insult.
I mean, I'd settle for a Popeye's chicken sandwich. The pickles and the coleslaw. Don't, like I
Yeah.
said, don't get me wrong. I do like, the coleslaw sandwich grew on me. I love it. It is almost on Steeler Sundays, I feel like I have to be eating a Permani sandwich now. But
Yeah.
the but in general, like I said, just such a bizarre
Yeah.
a
No.
couple of foods to be your staple in your town, you know.
Yeah. It would eat a pickle on your pizza. Get out of here. And this is coming from a guy who loves pineapple pizza.
And I gotta send
So
you this picture, Mike, with the pickles on the
uh,
pizza.
that's people want to make fun of pineapple on pizza. Pickle is where I draw the line.
I was reading this thing on I don't know, Reddit or something, and they said that the people in Hawaii don't even they don't even eat pineapple on their pizza.
Like
It's
people
just
who
more of
are
the theme.
people who whine and cry about it have never actually had pineapple pizza with ham on it too. I used to be one of those people. I made fun of it. Then I had it and it blew my mind. The flavor combination is just
You
it's
know
like a
what it might
party in my
be?
mouth. I love it. It's
You know how we don't like pickles and coleslaw? Maybe the people in Hawaii, they're just so fed up with pineapple,
pineapple and ham.
and they're just like,
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'd rather have something different.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get it. But no, I love pineapple me some pineapple pizza. I yeah, I used to be the biggest hater. Now I'm like the biggest convert. I'm a big zealot. When there's online debates about it, I have to stay away because I will end up freaking out on people.
I'm glad you went with the yellow background today.
Me too. I like the way it's popping.
You know what the blue looked like? It looked like you were in a Brady Bunch box. Remember how they were all in the
Yeah.
box and they're
Uh-huh.
looking at one another,
Hmm.
and they
Yeah.
were all blue, like the background. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was. I
So
went back.
I
I was watching one of the
I
videos from last week, and I thought, my
yeah.
God, he looks like he's
Yeah.
Alice from the Brady Bunch.
I liked it. I liked it just because it's a soothing color for my eyes. Like when I look at it, I like the yellow. For me, it looks a little too bright. But you know what? I'm starting to dig it. It's starting to grow on me. I can like do weird poses. Like go and I can cut it out and it'd be like a thumbnail for us. It's going to be me in the yellow background and two
Well,
dumb
it looks
idiots.
like
That's
it's
going to be
popping
every
more.
thumbnail.
Like as I'm looking at it on the YouTube video, it looks really yellow. But I'm looking at you on my computer screen, and it doesn't look all that yellow.
Yeah, and like the monitor I have right now, I have it set up for like gaming optimization. This yellow's popping right now, and it's like killing me.
So Pickle Fest this weekend. Get down there, everybody. Go down to downtown Pittsburgh to get your pickles.
Pickles.
Also, this is the Yinzer Palooza weekend. If you're planning on going down to check out the Pirates, who are back in action tonight against the Philadelphia Phillies in the first of a 3-game series, first series back since the All-Star break. This is Yinzer Palooza. It's being coined Yinzer Palooza weekend. And when you go to the Pirate game like tonight, you get to enjoy fireworks. On Saturday night is the block party. I think they usually do it right on Federal Street alongside the stadium. And when you go inside, tomorrow is Wiz Khalifa bobblehead night. So that's a big night for
Heck
fans.
yeah.
And Friday, on Sunday, finally, is family day. Kids get the pierogi plushies, and they do the whole family thing. So get down to the stadium and support your Pirates before I tell you what I'm going to say next, because if you continue to listen, you might not want to get down there. Maybe the only reason you might be going down is to get your Wiz Khalifa bobblehead. But
I'll get my Wiz
Mike,
Khalifa bobblehead.
there is so much we got to talk about this Pirates team. We got a lot to talk about going into the second half of the season. We got some Steeler stuff to talk about today. So let's get started.
Let's get it going. Let's get it crack-a-lacking.
So let me put it to you like this. As of right now, this is what the NL Central looks like. Of course, the Pirates and the rest of the major leagues are back in action tonight after their All-Star break. Milwaukee sits in first place, Mike. They play at Minnesota. Second place is St. Louis. They're 4.5 games back. They play at Atlanta. Pirates, of course, are in third place, 6.5 games out. They do host the Philadelphia Phillies. Cincinnati's in fourth place, who sits 8 games back. They are going to Washington. And finally, the Chicago Cubs, who are 8.5 games back in the basement in the division. They do host Arizona. So, with this being said, I do want to say it was extremely difficult to watch the Pirates crawl and scratch and claw and pinch and kick and everything they had to do to finally get back to 500. They weren't 500 since April. They weren't 500 since they were 14-14. So basically, the whole entire first half of the season, this team played catch up. So now that you are finally 500, You're coming out, you're looking at these numbers I'm looking at. The Pirates they're in the middle of a pack of teams of about probably 8 teams who have a chance at a wild card spot. All sounds good so far. You
All
just
sounds
come
really
off
good.
a real good. You
Real
come
good,
off an
real
amazing
promising.
start by probably the best number one overall pitcher in a long, long time. He has a great start in the All-Star game. He goes, throws a no-hitter in the first inning. Sounds funny, but you know what it is, what it is. Brian Reynolds gets a hit in the All-Star game. The guys get the rest. The injured get the heal. And this, Mike, is what the Pirates are up to. You play the best team in the league, the Philadelphia Phillies. As I said, you scratched and clawed your way to even get back to this point.
Yeah.
First series back from the All-Star break. You play the best team in the league, the Philadelphia Phillies, Mike. Team is 62-34. Nobody's better. So the Pirates think it's a great idea. This is the great idea. This is the mindset
Brilliance.
of what's going on in Pittsburgh with this Pirate team. They released the probables. So tonight, Philadelphia is pitching Aaron Nola, who's 11-4,
Yeah.
with a 3.38 and 116 strikeouts. Already to me, it sounds like it's going to be one hellish night for the Pirates offense. But you know what? It only isn't played on one side of the ball. Who's pitching? Mike, the first game back against the Phillies, 1-5. Martin Perez. He's 1-5 with a 5.15 ERA and only 57 strikeouts on the season. I mean, listen, what I'm about to tell you, fans are pissed off. And I got to tell you,
so.
and rightfully so. So Martin Perez gets the nod tonight with his 1-5 record against an 11-4 pitcher. Of all the possible pitchers the Pirates could have used, we have about 8 of them. Perez has the worst record.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to Saturday night, Mike. Now, the Philadelphia Phillies haven't released their starters yet, but the Pirates sure did. Night 2 of probably one of the biggest series of the year. You're coming out of the All-Star break again. You don't want to fall behind because it took you a half season to get back to 500. So with all these great pitchers, we have the Kellers, the Skeens, the Jared Jones. Let's look at game number 2. Mike, Martin Perez, 1-5, starts game number 1 tonight. Tomorrow evening's game against the Phillies, game 2 of 3. Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz gets the nod, Mike, at 4-2, 2.84 and 57 Ks. So you're thinking, okay, well, maybe, just maybe, since Skeens pitched on Tuesday, he would be penciled in on Sunday, which would be the next natural 5-day start. No. Marco Gonzalez is pitching the third game. Mike, you're playing the Philadelphia Phillies, who are 62-34.
Yeah.
You scratch, you clawed, you bitch, you did groin stuff, whatever you had to do to get back to 500.
Yeah.
It took you 3 months to do. And this team is going to come out of the All-Star break and start Martin Perez, Luis Ortiz, and Marco Gonzalez. This is the Pittsburgh Pirates, everybody. That little show where we all got to have fun and enjoy, or the pee on the hat of the starting pitcher in the All-Star game. That's not the Pirates.
No.
Brian Reynolds coming out hitting the base hit. That's not the Pirates. Brian Reynolds on a 25-game hitting streak. That's not the Pirates.
Nope.
This right here.
This.
Look at your weekend rotation. Because listen, Philadelphia is really good. So let's say you do come with your pitchers and you manage to win a game or two. Let me tell you, these 3 pitchers aren't going to get you a win or two. That's going to put us behind the 8 ball, and we're going to be doing what? We're going to be playing catch up right from the get-go. Why not put your best foot forward? These guys are well rested. Mitch Keller hasn't started since before the All-Star break. Paul Skeens, as I said, would be on schedule to pitch Sunday. Answer: these are the 3 starting pitchers who have the fewest starts. These are the 3 starting pitchers that have the fewest, innings.
Yeah, innings pitched.
Yeah. These are the 3 pitchers that have the 3 fewest innings pitched. This is what they're worried about. If you're hoping this team, if you're wanting or hoping that this team does something, I wouldn't hold my breath. But I think we all know that. I think we know that. Good morning to Brian on the board. He says they're pitching them to showcase them, to trade them. And then he says, and they really want to win versus the Cardinals, who's the next series. Cardinals come to town after Philly leaves. But you know what? I guess you could kind of be showcasing his leverage. But on the other hand,
Like
what are you
you have to
doing?
go. You
You're
have to
going to
go
put
strike
yourself
the.
behind the eight ball just
Yeah,
to showcase these guys. It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. You can drop out of the. You drop further back in the wild card standings by losing this series to Philadelphia. And if you go in on a nice little, pull somehow try and pull an upset and get 2 out of 3 by pitching Keller, pitching Skeens, and at least someone else in there, you give yourself at least a chance to win 2 of those games and take up some ground, go on a roll up against the Cardinals. And yeah, they're in our division, they're ahead of us. But my God, this is your chance to make a statement coming out of the All-Star break, starting the unofficial second half of the season. And this is what you throw out there as your starting pitchers, your
This is the
first three
best
games out.
idea that you came up with.
It's
This
it's
is what you're
it's
going to do, huh?
this is a joke organization. It proves they're not a serious organization. You win the games in front of you. Don't worry about the next ones coming up. The Pirates don't have that luxury. This team has to win whatever game they can. You have to put your best guys out there every chance you can get. Keller should be coming out right from the All-Star game ready to go. He hasn't pitched in
Guess what?
forever. And
If
then
this
you get
team doesn't
Skeens
play
on
well,
Sunday.
they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So what are you saving your
Got to
guys
get
for?
wins when you can.
You got to play them. You got to get the wins and give yourself a chance to. And as I said to Mike, there's a group of about 8 teams who could all potentially be in the playoffs, and especially the last playoff spot.
Yeah.
Because now they have the third wild card. Uh, Mike, I'm just the only thing that I can say to myself is this is the Pirates. You know better. You know better. You could complain, you could cry, you could stomp, you can whatever you do, but I mean, this is the Pittsburgh Pirates in
Yeah.
a nutshell.
Yeah, to me it doesn't make sense. I hope it works out for them. I really
It's not,
do.
Mike. It's not. I'm
But
gonna.
you're not setting yourself
The
up
writing's
for
on the wall. I mean,
success.
anyone can see that this isn't going to work.
Yeah,
They're going to lose tonight. They're probably going to lose tomorrow night. If they're lucky, they'll get a win out of this. Mind you, the first time we played this team back way in the beginning of the season, we did draw a tie. It was a 4-game series. We both
yeah,
won two
2-2.
games. So we're coming into the second half of the season, Mike, and we're not coming alone. We are not coming alone. We are carrying the league's current longest winning streak, mind you.
We got that going for
We
us.
do. We have 4 games straight, which nobody else in the league right now has. We do, as odd as it is, and as kind of a funny statistic as it is, we do come into the second half with the longest current winning streak with 4. Mike, it ends tonight. I don't see any way you're going to send 1-5 Martin Perez
Yeah,
out to face 11-4 Aaron Nola, who has 116 strikeouts again. And again, our offense is that this is gonna. It's all a problem. The whole thing tonight, the whole game's a problem.
it is. It like I saw a stat before we came on. Like lifetime, I think Martin Perez is what 4-1 or 3-1 lifetime against Philly, but that's not this team. This current iteration of the Philadelphia Phillies he's going up against, and this current iteration of Martin Perez is not that good. Yeah, he's a lifetime 500 pitcher. He's a nice number 4, number 5 pitcher to have. You should not be going out there against Nola. You should not be starting that first series after the All-Star break when you need to make a statement, when you need to make a push. If you can come out hot out of the All-Star game, the trade deadline's right around the corner, force management to make moves, add to this team and set yourself up in a good situation. And this organization is not doing that. They are not taking this seriously. It's like they waited to announce the starting rotation. It feels like after they realized, oh hey, we're selling out all 3 games. Doesn't matter who we start, baby. We don't have to put Skeens out there to get the fans to come in.
It just really shows you that this team doesn't have a burn to want to win. They just
No, they don't.
again and again we know this. I don't know why we keep putting ourselves through this.
Because that's the part of Bucko fever. It's the highs and the lows. That's the joy of watching this team. And you can't wait to see what stupid decision they make next. They're going to do something later in the year that's going to top this bad decision.
Well, it looks like this, Mike. These next 2 weeks are the most important time of the year for the Pirates. I would think they would do everything in their power to want to win and try to win these games. You have the trade deadline coming up here in a couple weeks. Mike, you have 12 games between now and the trade deadline. Philadelphia is here for 3. St. Louis is here for 3. Then they go out to Arizona for 3, and then they go to Houston for 3 to wrap up July. Uh, with a normal team that has a desire to win, I think that you could do okay against this lineup, Mike. But Philadelphia, Houston, St. Louis, you might be lucky to see 4 wins out of the series, out of the rest of the month. I'm sorry.
I don't want to be that pessimistic, but like Brian said in the comments, this Bucko team can go 1-5.
Very easily.
Yeah. So, but they could also surprise you.
No, they
Watch us go
can't.
out there. Come on.
Come on.
I was trying to be a little
over the
optimistic.
past 32
Yeah.
years. They surprised us once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to struggle. They're going to like the offense. It's not that good of an offense. We have guys that have some. Reynolds is having a really good season, but no one else really is, man. And this guy's throwing aspirin up there that we're going to go up against Nola, and who really on our team hits for average outside of Brian Reynolds, and even his average I would like to be a little bit higher than what it is at 284. So it's going to be a tough one. This game here is going to be tough. That's why we should have had Keller out there. We should have Skeens going there. Give us a chance. Give the offense a chance by keeping the runs down.
1.5 games out of a playoff spot at this point, Mike. Let's see how that goes. I think the only chance Philadelphia has to lose this series is if they go out and drink some bad pickle juice outside the stadium and aren't able to perform. Which maybe that's the plan.
Maybe we have an inside guy that's going to spike the pickle juice and give him all the runs.
And this is a big part of it too. What Brian said, this is obviously a big part of it. He says, here's the reason they're doing this. They will sell out this weekend because of all the Phillies fans coming over to town. No need to start your races, and then you start your big dogs during the week to sell tickets. That makes sense. People show out to the stadium no matter what on the weekend. You throw out a Wiz Khalifa bobblehead doll, you throw out some fireworks, and maybe the plushies, the pierogi plushies for the kids on Sunday. They're going to turn out, and unfortunately, that's what this is. It's
got to make that money.
And then during the week, when you don't get people to usually come out because they're working, their plan is to then put the starters on the hill and hopefully draw people in that way. I think that this is just such a joke move. I can see catering to the business every once in a while, but this is a team that this team has to win.
Yeah,
they have to win.
Yeah, and, there's people, Pittsburgh fans. You put a winner out there.
A weasel of an organization this is.
It is too. It's such a nickel and dime operation. It's hysterical. If all I can do is laugh at them because otherwise I'd be too depressed thinking about, this once proud organization to where they are now.
And you're sitting here hoping to yourself, okay, I hope they're buyers.
Yeah,
in 12 games, and they can make Mike. They're already putting themselves behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, the Bob Nutting era of baseball makes me miss the Kevin McClatchy era. I thought I would never say that, but yet here I am. Because at least he looked like he cared as an owner about the product out on the field.
He did sit behind the box a lot.
Yeah, he did. He would sit out there. He would take the shit from the fans. And he wasn't that rich of an owner compared to the rest of baseball. Whereas Nutting is in the top 10, top 15 owners, richest owners, and you wouldn't know.
Like the 2025 schedule did get released for the Pittsburgh Pirates. They start next season, same place they started this season, on the road in Miami. But their home opener this year, next season, 2025, of course, is going to be against the New York Yankees. Interesting enough, this year, some people may not realize, but the first and last game of the first half of the season, the part of the season we just watched, the first and the last game were against Miami and then against the White Sox. Those by record are the 2 worst teams in the league. It just works out that way. The first and the last team, Miami and the White Sox. Now, the second half of the season is going to be bookended by Philadelphia and the Yankees, who by number have the 2 best teams. Philadelphia being 1 in New York being up there. They're tied with Baltimore, but
Yeah,
still,
but still they're up there.
but that's kind of an odd coincidence.
That is, or the script writers in MLB are on point.
Yeah, because it
Yeah,
matters what the Pirates do.
it does. But no, I do like next year. That home opener when Paul Skeens will be out there. His future team will get a nice good look
We're
at him.
lucky. They'll probably start Martin Perez.
They'll start some guy we never even heard of that they pick up off the street.
A little bit about, yeah, okay, Paul Skeens, Mike. Right now, at this point, he is the first half National League Rookie of the Year. Is voted on by the MLB on Fox fans. They say that as of right now, Paul Skeens is the Rookie of the Year. It's going to take somebody a lot of hard work
Oh
and
yeah.
a lot of performance and winning ways to get past Paul. I think he might be a lock, Mike, unless something really bad
Yeah,
happens.
unless like his performance dips or God forbid he gets injured.
He is number one on top of the pitcher power ranking polls in the
Jesus.
majors. Number one, better than everybody. Not one pitcher in the league, according to this poll, is better than Paul Skeens.
I would love to see him finish up there with wins and strikeouts to where there is a case for him, a legit case for him to be named Cy Young.
I
Now,
Cy Young,
I
yeah.
don't want to hear that, oh, he missed the first month and a half. That should like if he's that close to like the top pitchers or even better than them stat wise, and people want to hold that he missed a month and a half, that would be to me more impressive. Like he gave them a head start. Like when Lemieux won the scoring title, he gave Pat LaFontaine a 60-game head start and still beat his ass, or 20-game head start, excuse me. So yeah, Paul Skeens, like this is going to be the greatest rookie year ever in sports, probably.
Top 10 teams in Major League Baseball, top 10 power rankings goes this. Philadelphia is number one, who we beat twice. We split the series with Philly. In the top 10 power rankings, Cleveland is second. Baltimore is third, who I think we also beat in a series. The Yankees fourth, the Dodgers fifth, who we also beat in a series. Milwaukee, who we also beat in a series, is sixth. Atlanta, we beat once and they beat us down there. Minnesota Twins are number 8. Number 9 is Seattle. Number 10 is Houston, where we do go here in about a week and a half to play. But Mike, against the top 10 teams, we're not doing too bad. If you would take all these teams and put the records together, I think we would have a winning record over these top teams, the top
Yeah,
10 teams in the league.
which is why I think we might have a fighting chance, even though we're pitching Martin Perez and a couple other of our bad pitchers
I could
in
guarantee you
this
the
series.
reason that we did beat those teams aren't because of Martin Perez. I'm just
Hey,
gonna
hey,
putting it
hey,
out there.
hey! I'm trying to end the weekend on a positive note here. Okay, I'm trying to give our listeners and fellow Pirate fans some reason to hope that we might pull out an upset this weekend.
Um, Mike, couple. Okay, you want to hear some positive news?
I
The
want
All
some
Star game,
positive news.
the All Star game drew 7.6 million viewers. It was the most watched All Star event in sports this year, and it's up 6% over last year. Paul Skeens effect?
Um, Probably.
I'd say heavily.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody else you've seen in
What?
All Star games before?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
What other big story is out there?
He's the big story.
Yeah.
And then he gets the. I mean, it's obvious. You know what I
And they
mean?
got the start.
It's obvious. People tuned in to see Paul Skeens because again, baseball. I mean, All Star games, they've become boring over time. Maybe
Yeah.
kids still enjoy. I don't know.
Maybe we're old now, so I had a feeling like if I was like in my younger years again, when I still really liked baseball, I would have been all over this All Star game, knowing everyone, knowing all their stats inside and out.
And finally, Mike, Paul Skeens. Um, they brought up a little information about him the other day. They'd said that when he was a freshman in college, he was a catcher. When he was in high school, we know he was a third baseman. He had the big rivalry against Jared Jones, of course, in high school. When he was also a freshman in college, he had 11 home runs. If Paul Skeens plays anywhere besides Pittsburgh, does somebody use him as
Hmm.
a full time threat as they do Otani? The comments were made that he could be somewhat comparable to Otani if he was able to play off it.
Yeah.
hit the ball and whatever. Mike, I mean, there's nothing that he really can't do, and I imagine because he does everything well, he's probably one of these guys that could probably hit well too in the majors.
He probably could, but
Maybe they're not doing it here because he's going to embarrass our offense. And
he probably would. Yeah. I think though, like baseball is still such that old school mentality of this is the way things are done. This is how we're going to do it. And Otani is such an outlier. If Otani didn't come from Japan where he did that, where they allowed him to do that, if he came up through the normal system over here, like in the US, through high school, college, minors, he would have been stuck at one. You're either going to be a pitcher or you're going to be just hitting. So I think even if Skeens would be elsewhere, he would still just be a pitcher. They don't want to risk that investment of him going out there, getting hit by a pitch, getting hurt running the base path. They're just like, no, you're just going to pitch. We're just going to protect our investment.
yeah,
But you would hope that there would be some forward-thinking GM out there, coach out there, front office group that'd be like, "Hey, go out there and do your thing. We're going to use you if we can."
so there you go. Pirates 1.5 games out of the wild card. Pirates 500. Excuse me, 48-48 at the moment. Philadelphia's coming to town tonight to start a 3-game series. Then the Cardinals come to start next week. Next weekend will be Arizona. Then we finish up July against Houston in Houston. It's going to be interesting. A lot of people are seeing if the Pirates are going to be buyers, Pirates are going to be sellers. I think they're putting themselves in a position to be sellers. I think you put your best foot forward out the gate because, as I said, look how long and hard it took the Pirates to get back to 500 after losing. Mike, April 14th
Yeah.
was the last time they were 500.
I wouldn't be upset if we had like a much better offense to where you can throw out throw out Martin Perez and give him, you're going to generate runs. But this offense, it's so hit or miss. And like the last time we saw Martin Perez against Milwaukee, he went 4 2/3, gave up 9 hits, 5 earned runs. Game before that against St. Louis, 7 1/3, 7 hits, only 1 earned run. But let's take it back one more start against Atlanta. 4 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned runs.
Mike, could this team win 33 games? This team out of 66, can they win 33 games? That would be a 500 record at the end of the season. Can they win every other game? Half of the games they have left. Mike, can this team finish 500? I'm not even going to say over 5. I'm going to say 500.
I think they can finish 500. That's about where I picked them, just a little bit above 500. So I think they'll claw and scratch their way to it. They have right now the top 2 pitchers to do it. You get Jones back, they'll have 3 quality starters to get them to drag them kicking and screaming. And if Brian Reynolds can keep playing the way he does, someone else in that offense will follow along eventually. So I think they have enough to get 33 wins.
All right, there you have it.
Dare I say 34 or 35 wins? It's going to be rough. It's going to be tough.
If they made sense in anything they do, I think that they would have a chance.
Yeah.
But they're not ran well. The team's not ran well from top to bottom.
No. And that's what's frustrating because, my God, we watch this team day in, day out. We see pieces to the puzzle there, but you got to add to the puzzle the correct pieces to get you over the hump, to get you where you need to. But the owner won't give the GM money. When the owner finally gives the GM money, he goes out and wastes it on players that don't perform well. He doesn't have an eye for the talent. It's just everyone, like the owner shouldn't be owning a team. The GM shouldn't be running a team, and the skipper should not be leading this group of men. It's just from top to bottom, just a failure.
All right.
I tried to be positive about the
Time to change directions, Mike. Just bend over and let me grab the ball. That's right.
Oh yeah. We're talking football. Oh, okay.
Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike. This team, they start camp a little less than a week from now.
Oh, yeah.
A little less than a week from now. The Steelers will be at camp, and guess what? Derpy will be live on the scene. Derpy will be up at camp and reporting back to us everything that he sees, minute by minute, hour by hour.
Will the fire alarm follow Derpy is what I want to know.
Yes. I'm gonna put my money on yes.
You're going to hear it out on the practice field. The players be like, "What the hell?"
So we got the Steelers, Mike. I think the big glaring question. There's a couple rumors we're going to talk about here. I'm sure
Okay, okay.
coming up short, but I think one of the bigger problems is this. Everyone, of course, is asking about what are we going to do about the number two receiver, which is, of course, it
Mm-hmm.
is something. It's an issue, but another big question for 8 weeks. What are we going to do about an inside slot corner?
Right. Yeah. Um, that's a good question because I don't know. Like the guys that I keep seeing named, like they're so forgettable. I can't
Yeah.
remember their names. So
Um,
it's going to be rough to figure out that spot because,
and the thing is, you got 500 people showing up to camp. You should be
yeah,
able to find something that
someone who can play the slot.
that's a big hole, Mike.
That is
That's
a
a
huge,
big hole
that is a huge hole.
because the inside slot. I mean, you're covering guys with speed. You're covering. It's
Yeah,
you know, you're gonna have somebody who knows what they're doing in there.
yeah, yeah. It's there's more holes on this team than you think.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because I was going down the lineup
People see
the
the
other day. I was
smoke in
like,
the
ooh,
mirrors and they
yeah.
think, oh, you know what, this is gonna be a pretty good year. We have a Super Bowl winning quarterback. We have this, we have that, but there are some
There's major
big
glaring holes.
major holes.
What like we said before on the show, and I think we even said it on Brian's program when he had us on. What I think they'll do for that number two spot is to a lesser extent of what Kansas City does, using the tight end, using Fryermuth as the number two option on the field. And he's already saying how he's loving the plays that Arthur Smith is already designing. He's loving the way Arthur Smith is telling him how, the route concept, why you're doing this, why everyone's doing that. And he is, Fryermuth is, reading his comments, he's ready to go out there. So I think George will be your one, Fryermuth will be your technical number two, even though he'll be a tight end. They're going to use um, Wilson to get out of the pocket, open up Fryermuth, and then you can have Van Jefferson, you can have Roman Wilson, you can have Calvin Austin the third out there. They won't be your typical number two receivers, but that they would slot in as a
I think the
three in
one
a
thing that
slot
this team could really
that
hope
way.
for is if Roman Wilson just comes out and has an amazing
Yeah,
rookie campaign. That would be
yeah,
best case scenario.
mm-hmm.
We'll see. I think the kid can do it. I think he has a lot of
Yeah,
fight in him, and from everything that I've seen, there's no reason that he probably shouldn't be able to.
yeah.
Um,
If we can get upwards of like 800 yards from him, about 5 touchdowns, oh my god, I would take that for a third round pick. As a rookie, I would take that in a heartbeat.
the Brandon Ayuk rumors they continue over the past couple days.
Yeah.
I do want to touch on a few things. The name combination of players that I've been seeing to send
Mm-hmm.
to San Francisco is interesting to me.
Oh yeah.
Dan Moore and Alex Highsmith for Brandon Ayuk, which I would do in a minute. I
Me
would do it
too.
in a minute. I would help them pack.
I'd drive him to the airport.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like I
I mean,
don't get me wrong.
that's a big thing to ask for is the drive to the airport. But you know what? I
Yeah,
would do it.
I would do it. I would do it. And don't get me wrong. I like Alex Highsmith. I think he's a fine outside linebacker. I think he's a little overhyped here in Pittsburgh.
A little.
Yeah, very overhyped. In the limited amount of playing time that Herbig had, he was on pace for more sacks than Highsmith had. If he had the same amount of snaps as Highsmith, he would have doubled his sack production. I
It,
would take Herbig there, but the only thing is that we're going to lose that depth
but we're
outside
gonna
line.
get a wide receiver.
I
We're gonna
know
be able to
we're going
score
to get the wide
points.
receiver, so you can help that offense more to pick up the slack of the defense. I understand. I like that concept. We have to start putting assets, resources, and money on that offensive side of the ball. So I would make this trade. Yeah, you're going to lose depth at O line. You're going to lose depth at outside backer. But guess what? You're going to get a game changer. You're going to have George Pickens, Ayuk, Pat Fryermuth, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren. I will take that offense. Is it a
Mike,
top
this is
five
the
offense?
odds.
No, but it's a top 10
This
offense
is
at
the
that
odds
point.
of the people that have the best chance of getting Brandon Ayuk. This is the current odds. You ready for this? At a
Yeah.
plus 400. At a plus 400, the Steelers, the first team, the top team. Number two, the Chargers at a plus 450.
They need receiver help big time.
The New England Patriots at a plus 450. The
Oh, I feel bad for
49ers,
him. I would feel bad for him going there.
the 49ers a plus 500.
Yeah, I can see
The
them
Arizona
saying staying.
Cardinals a plus 800. The Washington Commanders a plus 1,000. The Denver Broncos a plus 1,200. And finally, the Dallas Cowboys a plus 1,500.
Hmm.
So I think it's safe to say he's probably going to land on one of these teams because one of them is San Francisco. A
Yeah.
bunch of them are rumored teams that you heard all along, and then there's a few teams that you haven't heard. Um, if you were putting money on it, Mike, where does Brandon Ayuk line up this year? I know that you always lean towards San Francisco, but let's just say it's not San Fran.
Okay.
Where can you see Ayuk landing? Again, the odds are Steelers, Chargers, Patriots, 49ers, Cardinals, Commanders, Broncos, and Cowboys.
Yeah. Out of that list, I would put Commanders up there. They would have draft capital
Yeah.
to give up. You figured if they would maybe not a first round this year, but like a second this year, a second next year, and a player they can make that trade, like swap Jahan Dotson in a trade package. Excuse me, in there. I put Commanders at one, and then I didn't think about this team until you mentioned them, the San Diego Chargers.
You're right.
They have who's their wide receivers? No, they lost their two big receivers,
And with a
and
new
then
head coach and a stud quarterback, you got to think
yeah,
they got to be looking for a
I
receiver.
would do that trade, and then another one I'm hearing off the board out of that group, like it's people starting to talk about it, a swap of Ayuk and Devontae Adams, Raiders to San
Yeah.
Fran with some picks going around there. You gave, I would go Commanders and then excuse me, the San Diego Chargers.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna land them. I
All right.
just don't.
Well, you know what? If not, we are in luck because the Steelers did sign a special team star linebacker that played here before, who went to Buffalo for 4 years. Mike, how do you say his name? Tyler Matakevich.
Matakevich.
He's back on a 1 year deal, so no need to worry. We have a Matakevich. We don't have to worry about Brandon Ayuk and all these other things.
Like that to me, that's not screaming. We have a lot of confidence in our boy Mark Roberts or
Yeah.
Robertson or whatever to
Yeah.
continue his growth. Which I had hopes for him, even though he was a seventh round pick. He showed flashes. Hopefully, that's they're just bringing Matakevich in to take
You
a
know
look.
what? You get to the end of preseason and you're still not satisfied with what you're seeing from Robinson.
You gotta let him
I
go.
don't see what the point is of
or
keeping him around much longer.
or put him on the practice squad.
Or get somebody who could play.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe that's why they brought in Matakevich and sneak him in on the practice squad.
I can't justify keeping him on this team
Yeah,
if this is what it's going to be. I mean, you have a spot that
yeah,
luckily we have nice depth at linebacker and we could pull this off. But you know what?
yeah.
If the situation was different, he'd have
Yeah.
to go. He'd
Yeah,
have to
but
go.
it sucks there too because of the couple snaps we saw him last year. He was making plays.
He's got to
So
do more
you
than a
don't know
couple snaps.
what's we're going on there. So I want to do. I don't know what's going on with him. Do a little more on special teams. I don't know. I don't know what's going
Mike,
on.
there are three players in the top NFL top 100 from the Steelers. I thought it was a bit of a surprise. Three players in the NFL top 100 from the Steelers. TJ Watt being number eight overall in the league in the NFL. TJ Watt. Minka Fitzpatrick coming in at number 57.
Wow,
Okay. Right.
wow.
Whatever, Minka. Okay, I get it.
That's
There's a lot of guys in the
yeah,
league.
yeah.
And
I
then,
don't. Yeah, not.
and Mike,
Yeah,
the
that's fair.
third player.
Yep.
They're saying that this player is better than everybody else on the Steelers, offense, defense. I think our kicker would qualify as being more productive than this guy.
Yes.
But Cam Hayward, excuse me, is the number 98th ranked player in the NFL. I guess falling on people after the play is over counts for something.
Hey, that's reputation and name recognition right there,
absolutely.
baby. That's people looking at the stat sheet.
I
Going,
think
hell yeah.
I think Jalen Warren is more productive than Cam Hayward.
I think Najee.
I think Najee is more productive
George
than Cam
Pickens.
Hayward. I think that
James Daniels,
again,
Isaac Seumalo,
Boswell. He's more productive than Cam Hayward.
Yeah.
But there he is, Mike. As you said, on name recognition alone, number 98. Because come on, of all the players in the league, he's up 100. There's no way.
No.
You
Cam
watch
Hayward
him
of
play for
5
week to week.
years
No,
ago.
they don't watch him play. They just go by names.
Yeah, Cam Hayward of 5 years ago. Hell yeah, top 100 player. Cam Hayward of the past 3 years, no.
Hmm.
I have a feeling like his drop off this year might be precipitous to where people finally realize, oh, he ain't who we thought he was. Hope I'm wrong. Hope I'm wrong.
It only took
But
people what 10 years, but you know what,
yeah.
Mike. But listen, let's not bring everybody down. There is good news.
No. We're trying to be positive.
Rob King joins Craig
Oh,
Wolfley.
whoa.
What?
Dan Moore Jr. is more productive than Hayward. that might be a bridge too far. I like Dan Moore. He's not great, but he's not as bad
Why
as
did that
people
come up
say.
on
But
my
that might be a
screen?
bridge too far for me. Sorry,
Um,
Ryan. I didn't mean to cut
Rob
you off.
King joins Craig Wolfley as the play-by-play voice of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like this move.
I like
I
it
always
too.
liked Rob King. A lot of people were wondering what happened with him because he left the Pirates, and people said, what's going on with King?" And I noticed on social media he's still around,
Oh yeah, he does a lot of like Steeler
and
radio
he gets the
stuff. And
job. He's the new voice of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm down with this. I support Rob King. I like him. I think him and Wolf are going to do a great job. Of course,
oh yeah,
Wolfley is the color man. I can't wait to hear Rob because again, I liked him in baseball, so I
so
think
did
he can
I.
carry
I
over. The Yinzer seem to like him, you know.
Yeah, I like listening to him talk like some of the pregame stuff. I'll listen to like when he's on. I'll listen to him. If he's very knowledgeable, I'm just going to be interesting to hear him do play by play. It's going to be weird and awkward because all I've known is Billy Hillgrove
Uh,
doing play by play when I listen to the radio.
you know what, Mike?
It's going to be an adjustment.
It isn't all about football, is it? I mean,
Can it should be.
sometimes it comes down to couples. Of
Ooh,
course, everyone talks about the Taylor Swift and Kelsey. Now people are talking about Livy Dunn and Paul Skeens. You could even go Sierra and Russell Wilson, right?
yeah.
But wait a minute. But wait, it gets worse.
Not better, worse.
The new couple, Mike, the new couple of the NFL, if you could say that, I guess. Let me see if I could get to where I need to be on my
Oh
page here.
God, this is going to be scary. I'm
Yeah,
not ready for this.
you just wait.
I'm not ready.
Antonio Brown seen swapping spit in New York with Lil Kim. Antonio Brown, that's right, our boy AB, seen in New York City swapping spit with Lil Kim, the female rapper. Um, Mike,
Oh,
what? Which one's crazier?
AB by a mile.
You think?
I think so. Uh, um, both were very talented at one point in their careers.
AB
Both were very well respected at one point in their
AB
careers.
seen kissing Lil Kim in New York on a yacht. So there you
It's on
go.
a yacht. Does that count? Because
The
you know
new
that's
the
a
new the new power couple, not only in Pittsburgh, but maybe in the league. Lil Kim and AB or Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift.
oh God.
Think long, think hard, everybody. There you go. That is going to be your new power couple in the NFL. Mike,
Biggie's rolling over in his grave right now.
I do want to say this, Mike. The Pittsburgh Steelers have never. Want to hear something interesting?
I want to hear this because I think I know what you're going with.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have never, never finished in last place in the AFC North. You want to hear what their record is, Mike, in the AFC North?
Yes.
95, 41, and 1.
Oh, hot
95,
damn.
45, and 1 in the AFC North, which would be the current divisions, not the
Yeah.
Jacksonville, the Tennessee.
Yeah, and not the old
In the
Central.
current
Yeah.
AFC North, these Pittsburgh Steelers have never finished in last place. They currently have a 95, 41, and 1 record.
That's what we like to call domination
Ain't that the truth?
and consistency. You know,
Yeah.
I'd like a lot more success, but I'll take that consistency. My God.
And finally, before we do move on, Mike, AB, of course, go
Again.
mention AB here. He did coin Donald Trump as the nigga of the century. So not only is he the nigga of the day, not only was he the nigga of the decade, now according to AB, Donald Trump is the nigga of the century. So there you go. Happy voting.
I still want to be cracker of the day.
No. No, you're not. No, you're not being cracker of the day. Just stop
Come
already.
on, AB.
No.
I defended you for years as when you were a Steeler. Come on now.
Pittsburgh Penguins, Sidney Crosby, Mike, he was named the 22nd greatest athlete of the 21st century by ESPN. The 22nd greatest athlete of the
Should have been
21st
at least one
century
higher.
in according to ESPN, and the number one overall hockey player.
Yeah, that's by far is the number one hockey player of the 20th century. How they had Diana Taurasi over Sidney Crosby.
No, come on.
No, 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 no offense to her
Yeah,
because
yeah, I'm offended.
in her
I'm
sport
offended.
she's dominant. But come on now,
No,
Sidney
she's not.
Crosby.
She's not dominant. I
She's
literally
kind
watched
of
her
was.
last week playing against Caitlin Clark. She's not
That's
dominant
that's
anymore.
now. We're talking about over the span
Yeah,
of
yeah.
when she came in, blah blah
I
blah.
think
But
I
no,
think
Sidney
Crosby was
Crosby
more
as
successful
yeah,
during his play through the 21st century than Deanna Taurasi.
yeah, he
Yes, Deanna
was.
Taurasi was successful, but for her to be above Sidney
Yeah,
Crosby, it's
and like
crazy
the
talk.
expectations that were laid upon him as an 18-year-old, he had to be like the next, not only the next Lemieux, but he also had to be the next Dwayne Gretzky, and he lived up to the hype because there are so many people before him that were labeled the next one. Then
22nd
yeah,
greatest athlete of the 21st century, Mike, and number
I,
one overall hockey player.
number one overall hockey. Yeah, he should have been a little bit higher. Michael Phelps, I have no problem being number one. Serena was number two. I have no problem with that. I think Federer should
Wait,
have
who
been
was
above
number
her.
one?
Michael Phelps.
Oh, okay.
He dominated how many Olympics in a row,
Yeah,
beating the
I don't
best in
know.
the world. I don't have a problem with that. Messi and Ronaldo should have been a whole hell of a lot higher. It was more or less who's like the best North American athlete. This is from ESPN, so obviously it's very skewed.
Pittsburgh Riverhounds back in action tonight, Mike, after getting the big 5-0 win last weekend over the Oakland Roots. They are playing the Hartford Athletic. The Hartford Athletic and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds this weekend. Do be sure to go down and support the Hounds. Maybe they could get a win streak going, Mike. It has not been that great of a year, especially compared to the last season that they played. But everybody, the Hartford Athletic will be in town to play the Hounds. Check it out.
One,
And
one, one,
don't
real
don't
quick.
don't. If you're going to the board, don't yet, because I'm going to get there. I'm just not
No,
there
well, it
yet.
wasn't the board. It was
Okay.
going back to the dominant athletes of the 20th century.
Okay.
Um, I know this is really off the board for us here, but Chris Froome won 4 back-to-back Tour de France's. That's like the hardest
Who?
race. And Chris Froome,
I've never heard
he
of that name in my
he
life.
won 4 Tour de France's in a row. He's the first one outside of the doping era to do that. He should have been on that list, and he was not. I just want to throw
In the
that out
top
there.
21?
In the top 100
Oh,
athletes, he should have
yeah,
been in that list.
yeah, probably. Like the Indiana Fever, they played the Wings, the Dallas Wings. I thought they were going to win. I thought they were going to beat the Maxi Pads, but you know what? I mean, they beat the Liberty, they beat the Lynx, they beat all these good teams. They fall to the Wings 101-93. They fall to 11-15. Caitlin Clark scored 24 points, which was tied for the second most in the game between all players. She had 6 rebounds, Mike, and 19 assists. She had 19 assists against Dallas. Now,
Ooh.
she's also the game leader in time played. She every single game plays more minutes than anybody on her team, and most of the time anybody on the court. Boston scores 28 points as the leader of the game. Again, Caitlin Clark scored 24 points, 6 rebounds, 19 assists, where she did become the assist leader. Now the Fever and the rest of the WNBA, they will be off for a while. They're in the Olympic part of their season. They won't be back to action until August 16th, Mike.
Oh wow,
August 16th.
so that's a nice break. Caitlin
It's a
Carr's
real
going to come
nice
back
break.
nice and rested. She'll be ready for more turnovers and more assists.
There you go.
She should have had more assists in that game, especially like her coach called a timeout while the ball was in the air and cost her team 2 points.
I just if you're gonna go by these assists, you gotta or these turnovers, you gotta go by everything.
Yeah.
You gotta
You
go
gotta
by
look
all
at
the
everyone's
numbers
stats as a whole.
because her turnovers are gonna go down over time.
Yeah.
Her production, it's probably gonna get better. So again,
Yeah.
a lot of Caitlin Clark to watch. So I'm excited about this moving forward, Mike. But why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
The2dumbyinzers.com. Head on over there. We got the blog up over there. What else do we have over there? We have all of Ryan and I's social media links over there. So if you're new here, head on over there, check out the website, check out all the social media links, and check out the merchandise store where you got the two dumb users merch that will have our logo on it. And then we also have right now heading flying hot off the shelves. 10% malt liquor always wins. A funny saying that
Which
we
has
said here
nothing to do with
once on the
anything that
show.
we've ever
We
done
said
on
it
the
once on
show.
the show. I thought it was funny. I wanted to throw it out there. So go
We're
check it out.
we're still
Limited
going to get
time
to that.
only.
Mike,
Limited
I'm not even
time
to the point
only.
where I want to talk
Limited
about this with you yet.
limited time only. Go check it
Brian
out.
says on the board he goes 6 turnovers. Her sixth turnover was the with the game on the line. Listen, she had 6 turnovers, but if you have 19, take away her 19 assists. Does this team even in the game? Is this team even have the record that they have with the production that she does put out there? Again, she does lead most games with time played. I will trade 6 turnovers for 19 assists any day of the week. Again, those numbers are going to go down. The turnovers you think would go down over time, which again, if they don't, then it's a problem.
She
Mike,
had
here is
oh,
what's
I have
up.
another Caitlin Clark stat: 400 points and 200 assists in 26 games.
Yeah,
Fewest career games in WNBA needed in WNBA history. The
history.
previous low was 33 by Sue Bird. Caitlin Clark's also averaging. She's in on 41.3% of her team's points.
So I'm saying, take
So
her out there.
between
Nothing.
assists and points,
It
you
might
take
have
her
one
off that
win if
team.
she's not on this
Yeah.
team.
But hell, you take her and Aaliyah Boston off this team, they might have 0 wins. They might have negative wins.
All right, time for trivia, Mike. This is Pirates 20-win season trivia. We're
20
talking about
wins?
we're talking about pitchers, of course,
Okay.
because Mitch Keller should be a 20-win pitcher, but the way the Pirates handle things, he probably won't be. So put on your thinking cap, everybody on the board. Here we go. The Pirates have had 37 pitchers in their history to win 20 or more games in a season. I want to know who the last was. That's all. The Pirates have had 37 pitchers to win 20 or more games in their franchise history in a season. Who was the last that could get it done? Think that over, Mike. We're live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, right here, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. We usually send the show over in podcast form to Spotify at 8 o'clock p.m. every day. However, there's some discrepancies. Spotify's changing some things around, and it's made. We're working on it. It'll be done by the end of the weekend. It'll be back next week. I do want to put that out there. So if you would rather listen to podcast form, it will be there next week. So don't forget to check it out. Question of the day, guys. The Pirates have 37 pitchers in their franchise history to win 20 or more games in a season. Who was the last one to do it, Mike? If you want a hint, I'll give you a hint, but think about it for a minute.
I'll take a hint.
You ready? All
Yeah.
right. Brian on the board says Doug Drabeck.
That's who I was gonna say, actually.
Well, let me give you the hint. Maybe this will help.
He's my go-to guy.
You want the hint still or no?
Yeah, I'll take the hint.
Or do you want to pick Drabeck?
You know what? Screw it. Give me Doug Drabeck.
All right. The hint was it was 1991. The hint was it was 1991. The Pirates have had 37 pitchers to win 20 or more games in a season in their franchise. Who was the last? The hint being it was 1991. Brian says Doug Drabeck. Myself says Doug Drabeck. That's your final answer, Mike?
Final answer.
All right. The answer is with exactly 20 wins in 1991, John Smiley was the last 20-win pitcher in Pittsburgh, left-hander, John Smiley. He was one of my favorites when I was a kid.
I forgot about Smiley.
So there you go, guys. John Smiley, the last Pirate pitcher. We hope it could be Mitch. You know what? Even with a lot of luck, I guess it could even be Skeens if he. I mean, if anybody could pull it off at this point from where he's at, it could be Skeens. But I highly doubt. Again, it comes down to a lot of things have to happen, and a lot of things aren't happening because, again, you see what the Pirates are up to here, going back from the break. So that leaves that answers a lot of questions for me. A couple of things, Mike, before we do wrap things up for the day. I do want to say this. Do check out on Wednesday. Go check out on Wednesday evenings from 5 to 6 p.m. on WBVP Radio, Beaver County Radio here in Beaver County. You could also check out their YouTube, their Facebook, or their website and check out One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale every Wednesday night from 5 to 6. Brian's talking about all different kind of sports. He touches on things that we don't touch on. Go check him out. There's a lot of great stuff again every Wednesday on WBVP, also on the radio. If you just rather listen to the radio, go check him out. One
Check
Man's
it out.
Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale. Also, my thing of the day is this, Mike. Check out this headline I got out of the paper. This is a real headline out of the Pittsburgh paper here. News headline: New Swickley police looking for missing man near old elementary school building. Now, this made it to the newspaper, mind you. This
Uh-huh.
was in the newspaper. Let me read this one more time. New Swickley police looking for missing man near old elementary school building. How long were they looking? If it got to the point where they wrote the article and printed the paper and it went out and you read it, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
long are you looking for this old man? And he might not be by that school anymore if you know what I mean? If it goes through that whole process, right?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
am I missing?
I don't know. There's a lot of context missing in that headline.
You think?
Just a little bit of context.
Oh, yeah. Also, Mike, the NCAA 2025, Derpy has it. He bought it. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that's why he isn't here today. He
Oh,
stays up all night,
he's
plays
probably
video
tuning.
games,
Oh, yeah.
but he's already talking about playing you, Mike. He said, I don't know what the deal is, but he's texting yesterday. Is it going to be on my Twitch? Is it going to be on your Twitch? Does the show have a Twitch? I want to play Mike. I don't care what if we get embarrassed. Do we have to do this? Derpy is very excited, Mike, to play you in this NCAA 25. I have everything that I gather on Twitter, X, Facebook. There's a lot of people that got it, and a lot of people are loving it. Mike, is this going to happen? Is it going to go down the big showdown between you and Derpy? Penn State, Ohio State. Mike, it don't get any bigger, right?
It does not get any bigger than that. No. It will happen. I don't know when. I don't know how, but it will happen.
All right. We will in some capacity put that up for people if they are interested in checking it out. But that is coming. And finally, Mike, I can't even get on you about the malt liquor thing because I go to check it out the other day,
Uh-huh.
last night, and I get in there and I can't even get into the merchandise page.
Yeah, I found that out yesterday too.
We
Last
have
night
to
I was
change
trying to.
that
Yeah, I
because
have to
I don't
figure
want
that out.
people to
Yeah.
have to sign up to go look at what
Yeah,
we
yeah. I
have.
don't know what happened there because it never used to be like that. I have to figure out if that's where we do our business through, if they change something on their end. Because I wanted to check it out last night. I'm like, what the hell happened? I checked it out. God, like
I got
a
on there
couple
to
weeks
find out,
ago.
look at what I had to yell at you about. I couldn't even get in.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what happened there.
So we're going to work on that. If you go to the merchandise page at the moment, it comes up as like it wants you to log in.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
do that. Just let Mike fix it. I don't know what the
yeah.
deal
I don't
is.
know what happened
We're
there.
not
Yeah.
asking people for information, anything like
Nope.
this.
Nope.
So I'm going to wait to yell at you about this malt liquor thing because if people can't see it, I don't care. But
Oh, it's a great shirt.
it has nothing to do with
I
anything.
have. I might have to retweak the design and put it back out, but limited time only. People,
There you go.
malt liquor always wins.
I also do want to say thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with us, coming and checking us out today on this Friday, July 19 of 2024. We appreciate each and every one of you. We wouldn't do it without you. I want to thank everybody on the board as well, always keeping things interesting. Mike, what do you got, man? What's your word of wisdom before we head off to the weekend?
Um. Hmm. Let's go Bucks. Let's go Bucks. That's all I got. Buckos, you better win.
All right, get down to Pickle Fest, everybody. This weekend, downtown Pittsburgh. If you love pickles, you could have pickle everything. Pickle Fest downtown. It's also Yinzer Palooza at PNC Park. Get over to PNC Park. There's fireworks tonight after the game. There's a block party tomorrow. And then when you go inside the building, you also get Wiz Khalifa bobbleheads. And finally, Mike, on Friday or on Sunday is the family day where kids, of course, they get to run around the bases after the game and they get a pierogi plush doll. All kids free. They get that. Besides for that, Mike, we're waiting. We're waiting. The countdown is on for the Steelers, less than a week away. Fever's off. the everybody's off. There's not much going on this week, Mike. We do have, of course, the Hounds game. They're playing Hartford Athletic.
Mm-hmm.
The Pirates back at it tonight with his cockeyed pitching rotation. So there are a few things. Be sure to keep up and check those things out because we'll be back first thing Monday morning to talk all about them and more. Mike, speak now, forever hold your peace, man.
I got nothing. Have a good weekend, everyone. Can't wait to see you all next week.
Yes, everybody do be safe. Have a great weekend. Rounding out July. Don't be too discouraged because the kids will be going back to school soon enough. And we will all be back to being free once again. But until that happens, everybody, uh, we will be back first thing Monday morning. I hope we see everybody there. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe. For Mike in the Steelers Central Mobile Studio, myself, the Two Dumb Yinzers, everybody have a great one. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.